What is SAFE? SAFE is a love child of a control freak and a project manager on a power trip. Kidding. SAFE is a scaled agile framework popular with large corporations, while agile practitioners can't help but despise it. In my last video, I tried to explain a bit what SAFE is, and in today's video, I'm gonna tackle the SAFE controversy head on. Why is there so much hate towards SAFE? Or perhaps the question is, why would anyone defend such a process-heavy framework? Is it a shame to admit that you actually like SAFE or find it useful? Will the Agile community come at you with pitchforks if they found out? Is the cool thing now to hate on SAFE? What's the real deal here? If you're loving what you see on my channel, and let's be real, who wouldn't, make sure to hit that like button and smash the subscribe. And hey, if one of my videos really tickles your fancy, how about treating me to some Aperol spritz? Go ahead, show some love and hit that thanks button where you can buy me an Aperol. Let's keep the good vibes flowing. And now, let's get to the bottom of the SAFE controversy. Hi, I'm Maria, and this is the Agile State of Mind. Welcome! So I'm a down-to-earth kind of gal, okay? I'm as practical as they come. I moved on from all the touchy-feely stuff when it comes to the frameworks. You hate Scrum and fancy giving Kanban a try. Knock yourself out. Prefer estimating in time instead of effort. Not my cup of tea. But hey, if you can show me a valid use case, maybe it's got some merit for your situation. You won't see me fighting for a framework, but you will see me championing the delivery of value through iterative manner and feedback loop. Same goes for SAFE. Let me clarify one more thing here. I'm not an official SAFE trainer, but back in the year I obtained some SAFE certification. I'm not an expert on SAFE, neither am I financially incentivized to teach, promote, or implement SAFE within any organization. And SAFE people don't pay me to talk about it. However, I have had some hands-on experience with the SAFE framework, where it was adopted based on decisions from higher management. Hence, my corporate-sponsored certification. Today, I will analyze SAFE based on different angles. The trigger for this video was an article by Christiaan Verwijs, In-Depth, Is SAFE Really That Bad? An objective, scientific approach analyzing different scaling frameworks. But first, we will review the opinions of the official SAFE haters. My dear friends, Martin Dahlmine and David Pereira. Let's see why they hate it so much and what arguments they provide in their case. Are you ready for this unsafe ride? Let's go. Let's start from the haters. For that, I chose, as I said, my estimated friends from Serious Scrum, David Pereira and Martin Dahlmine. Both product leaders, maybe there's something about it. Let's see. David is known for his tagline, SAFE as an undercover waterfall agent. What basically David says is that you name it, SAFE will ruin it for you. In his article, Why SAFE is the Safest Choice to Fail with Agile, David goes on an epic rampage, proclaiming SAFE an insult to all things Agile. Sounds lovely, doesn't it? Note that SAFE is an abbreviation of Scaled Agile Framework. That's why you will find so many people raging against its agility, because they put Agile in the name of the framework. So let's see what David writes in his article. Once upon a time, David was an empowered product owner, living life in the fast Agile lane. But then along came SAFE, turning everything into a slow-motion nightmare. With all those processes and rules suffocating the Agile vibe, he felt as if he switched from a Ferrari in the fast lane to a reasonably priced car in the waterfall loser lane. He argues that SAFE merely feeds the bureaucratic beast within the organization, transforming them into process-driven zombies, unable to innovate. Process and rules killed the Agile vibe. He also points out that SAFE shamelessly spoils perfectly good practices, tools, and frameworks. SAFe masters the art of copying techniques and making them horrible. Design thinking, Scrum, Kanban, and user stories are just a few things that SAFe spoiled. What he basically says is that you name it, SAFe will spoil it for you. Now let's move on to the know-it-all part of SAFe, as apparently it has an answer for everything. As I mentioned on my previous video, you won't find much self-organization in SAFe. It's all pre-packaged and pre-organized for you, like a pre-cooked meal to throw into the microwave. David concludes, Agile is about freedom, SAFe is about control. In David's opinion, Martin Fowler couldn't have said it better when referred to SAFe as shitty Agile for enterprises. Ouch! David has more on SAFe, especially when it comes to the separation of the product owner from the product manager role in the framework. David scoffs at the notion, calling it pure nonsense. Well, have you ever worked with SAFe and those two roles? Nobody knows why they exist. And even, usually they are in a different vertical. In David's opinion, SAFe reduces the product owners to mere ticket holders, mindlessly pumping out the features that nobody gives a damn about. It's like being trapped in the feature factory, churning out mindless work. And don't even get him started on the mutated version of Scrum in SAFe. Apparently, it's a soulless mechanical process that drains the joy out of Agile. Who needs a framework without a soul? But wait, there's more! SAFe creates a massive customer distance where the developers have to climb Mount Everest just to have a chat with the customers. It's like a never-ending hierarchy. Business owner, product manager, product owner, and finally the poor developer. What happened to the good old days of direct interaction? SAFe has too many roles and responsibilities, making it feel like we're back in the industrial era. We're not cogs in the machine, people. All in all, David Pereira concludes that SAFe is a fancy marketing framework that gives the companies the illusion of control. Next comes Martin Dahlmeier, another renowned and popular product leader, and he comes with his article, SAFe, Why Can't We Be Friends? With the emphasis on can't. He also considers SAFe to be the troublemaker in the playground, intentionally stirring up conflict. Martin asks, why does the Scaled Agile Framework divide so many people? He considers it's intentional. SAFe divides people by design. He points out, just like David, that SAFe takes successful concepts and frameworks and gives them a makeover. But instead of enhancing them, as he says, they take what's good and bastardize, dilute, and wrap it beyond recognition. That's because they don't want to be scary. They want it to be safe. Martin also quotes some popular Agile practitioners what they think about SAFe, and spoiler alert, they're not impressed. Well, to conclude, both Martin and David aren't pulling any punches. Their opinion on Scaled Agile Framework can be best described as a blend of skepticism, frustration, and the occasional facepalm. Now let's move on to Christiaan Verwijs. In depth. Is SAFe really that bad? By the way, you gotta love the Liberators. They have a scientific approach to Scrum and Agile, unlike myself. And if you ever doubt whether to jump or not on a hate train of something not agile enough, I recommend you first check with them. They will give you an objective view, unlike myself. Christiaan did a lot of research in the scaling frameworks world. He has read scientific studies, conducted surveys, and offers a view on SAFe based on available evidence, unlike myself. So, what are his conclusions? First of all, version 1 reported SAFe, and you have the report here, as the most popular scaling framework in 2021, 37%. Surprise! Then he moves on to compare SAFe to other frameworks based on 5 core factors of effective Scrum teams. And he says that based on the negative opinion of the Agile community, one would expect the Scrum teams in SAFe would have lower team autonomy, lower responsiveness, lower concern for stakeholders, and fewer opportunities for continuous improvement. In the survey he conducted, they asked the teams which framework they use. The most prevalent ones were SAFe, LESS, and Scrum of Scrums. You can learn more about it here from my video on Scrum of Scrums. Then there are also homegrown frameworks and something else. And they also added teams that don't use scaling. And surprise, surprise, his conclusion was that the quality of the core factors that make Scrum teams effective is not meaningfully different between the scaling approaches. To make the study relevant, he asked both the teams and the stakeholders for their satisfaction with the way they work, and both seem to be similarly satisfied with the outcomes of SAFe. And he says, my interpretation of this is that frameworks don't matter nearly as much as we assume they do, and that other factors are far more important in shaping success or failure. What would be those other factors, one might ask, right? The company's uniqueness, the needs of the teams and the people that work there, and the unique company's culture. And based on many opinions, papers, and surveys, Christiaan actually concludes that those other factors that I just mentioned determine more the success of an approach than the choice of the framework itself. And that's the SAFe controversy saga. It's a wild ride filled with challenges, coordination conundrums, and the eternal question of what truly makes Agile scale. And that's all for today. I would love to learn about your opinion in the comments below. And once again, remember to like, subscribe, and buy me this Aperol. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.